Alright guys, so this is part 2 on my reaction to the video how Kevin Durant suddenly became irrelevant by Swishout. Shout out to Swishout, man. I'm going to go ahead and let him talk about it. I'm going to chime in.
On KD's career has always been that he's not really a leader, a natural born leader. This is something that he actually admitted at some point, and then he kind of tried to walk it back a little bit. But I'm sorry, these two teams post Golden State feels like crystal clear evidence of this very narrative that always surrounded KD's career. For some reason, despite KD always having these all-worldly numbers, and he still has them to this day, his team inevitably becomes this circus. Russell Westbrook never really had the skill.
Yeah, but that's because, like he said, he's not a leader, but it's okay. Like, you guys are crapping on something like him for not being a leader, like he's the first NBA great or NBA player, period, just to not be a leader, but be the best player on the team. Hello, guys. Kareem. Anybody? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Anybody know him? Was not a leader at all. Shaq, back and forth. It was more like, Penny and Kobe. But it's like there's been a lot of players in the league, especially bigs and tall guys who just aren't leaders, bro. That's okay. Let him be that special weapon of doom. So now that means that you need to put a leader around him. It's definitely not Kyrie Irving. It's definitely not James Harden. It's definitely not Ben Simmons. it's not freaking Chris Paul. He's not the leader to get you to a championship. It's not Devin Booker, and it's definitely not fucking Bradley Beal. Kevin Durant needs to go to a team that has either a leader or a winning championship environment and DNA that's been around for decades. The Miami Heat, right? The Golden State Warriors, or Steph Curry. Because not only is Steph Curry a winner, the Golden State Warriors is a winning class franchise. You get me? The Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis Antetokounmpo. You get me? Or the Denver Nuggets, and not really the Denver Nuggets themselves, but Nikola Jokic. He has proven that he can win the big one and be the leader. These are the type of situations Kevin Durant needs to put himself in. If he takes his ass right now and goes to the Minnesota Timberwolves, they're not winning shit. Because first of all, they're going to gut the franchise, and him and Anthony Edwards isn't going to get it done. Anthony Edwards hasn't proven that he can win the big one yet. Sorry, just not there. The OKC Thunder, no. Until they prove it, it's not there. Oh, and let me not forget the Boston Celtics, because I didn't mention them. But the Boston Celtics, like that type of a franchise, that's what he needs to go best with. He don't need to go to Charlotte. He don't need to go to the Pelicans. He don't need to go to some random team who like the New York Knicks because Jalen Brunson's there. It all sounds cute until he gets there and you realize they can't win because they don't know how to win. They don't have a championship formula, and neither does Kevin Durant. So let's rank him accordingly because he only got a few years left. I mean, unless he can really play in his late 40s, but he only has a few years left. If he's going to try to maximize and get another championship, then put yourself inside of a team that has championship DNA already inside of the franchise.
Skill set to be a one on a championship team, but he definitely has the persona of a leader. To me, this is why Russ was always.
No, he doesn't. He has a persona of a goddamn madman, of a Tasmanian devil. Russell Westbrook is a locomotive, bro. Trust me, like I like his attitude, like the way he comes off, but he's not no leader. That dude's nuts. And I say leader, I'm obviously talking about specifically from a championship perspective. Someone who can win a championship. Russell Westbrook was able to lead teams. I get that. To the playoffs, cool. But I don't care about none of that. None of that shit matters, whether it's Kyrie, Westbrook, or whoever. You get me, or James Harden. If you can't lead me to the finals, that's why Dame Lillard, for example. Dame Lillard, one of my favorite players. This dude not no leader. Not in the sense of he can get you to the big one. No, his body can't hold up to the late rounds. Once you start getting into to the fourth round of the playoffs, most of these players wear down. If you haven't noticed, so it's like you have to put yourself around somebody who can take you through 4 different rounds and can win 16 games in the playoffs. Russell Westbrook hasn't proven to be that guy. Sorry, it just is what it is for all Russell Westbrook fans out there.
Always able to raise the floor of bad teams with not the best rosters. James Harden, even though he hasn't always been the most professional, he has proven that he can lead teams, and even to some extent this year. I value making...
Man, bro, what? James Harden has proven to have meltdowns. What is this man talking about? James Harden has proven to show fatigue in the later series and have a fucking mental meltdown and leave his team stranded. And on top of that, he plays such a gimmicky game that it's hard for him to adjust when the playoffs start and the refs start swallowing. They start swallowing the whistle.
Teammates better, and James Harden most definitely does that. I don't know if people noticed, but Zubac is having a career year, and it's because of James Harden. Meanwhile, when I look at Phoenix, and I'm not even blaming KD because I understand
that's all cool, but is Zubac career year gonna lead to a championship for the Clippers? If not, then it just doesn't matter, bro. Kevin Durant's talking about championships. Like, let's get this, let's get this addressed real quick. He's talking about championships. If Kevin Durant just wants to have a good time on a team, which is what he's been doing, just stay in Phoenix. Why are we even having this conversation if it's not about winning a championship for Kevin Durant? Like, you feel me? Then he can just go do whatever he wants. Shit, go and join the Charlotte Hornets or the Utah Jazz, like, and go have fun and do whatever the hell you want to do. No, if you're talking about winning a championship, everything that you're saying doesn't matter. Zubac isn't getting you to a championship because James Harden is passing him the ball a little bit more.
And it's not all his fault, but I'm seeing them crash out on Mason Plumlee time after time after time, and it's deservingly so. I'm seeing them crash out on Mike Budenholzer time after time after time. I'm seeing KD oddly in incident after incident after incident, and it just looks like he's finally seeing life as a true leader. In Golden State, this was Draymond that did all of this and really did all the ugly work to allow KD to simply hoop. This weak-ass Phoenix team just doesn't have that. Now it seems like KD has to wear all these caps that he's not really used to wearing.
Kevin, what do you say about those that say maybe you need to do more or be a leader more without Steph?
What does being a leader mean? I don't know what being a leader is because everybody chips in, everybody leads by their voice every single day. Andre might say something one possession, and I might say something. Drake.
Come on, Kevin Durant. You got all this money. You can't get them damn teeth fixed. What the hell is going on in your mouth, bro? Dude got razor sharp teeth at the bottom of his jaw. What the hell is going on, man?
Mind and goes down the line. Then, we got coaches. So we do this as a collaborative effort. It isn't just one guy that voice is just louder than everybody else. It's a collaborative effort on the basketball court as well. So I don't really understand what that means, but I come to play every single night.
Regardless of how exactly you feel, this is just the facts. Look at this man's numbers this year. Fantastic as they all.
Hey, by the way, you could clearly tell like LeBron got some veneers or something like that in his mouth. Like he completely got his entire teeth taken out and something put in. Either that or he was just born with, the greatest teeth ever, Herculean teeth. But it looked like LeBron got veneers or something. But whatever the fuck Kevin Durant had when he was on the Warriors, oh my gosh, bro. All that money you making, you can't take your ass to the dentist? Got a crooked fence down there. What the hell? What's going on, man?
Always are. In the history of the entire NBA, only 6 players have had these specific numbers and have finished under 500. This is the list, and this is where Kevin Durant is right now. If he continues to lose, he would now join this list. None of these players, and they're all great players, none of them are really considered to be winners. This season, these are the players that lead the league in scoring this year. And I know some people hate individual plus minus, but I'm emphasizing how well he's scoring despite how poorly they're playing and how...
Phoenix got a lot more problems than just scoring, man. Defense, just the archetype of their team, and then just the fact that it's just 3 stars and a bunch of role players, minimum level guys. I mean, shit, they'll never win because they can't get out of that Bradley Beal deal. I mean, the day that they get out of that, they could, start making some moves. But it's probably best if KD is looking at winning, then it's best for him to go somewhere else. But at the same time, he's going to have to gut a roster. So is it really going to be winning if we have to trade the farm 4, 5, 6 draft picks and give everybody a Paul George level trade send off to get an aging star? I would say no.
Odd that is. Everyone else besides Tyrese Maxey, who's being asked to be a 1, and we know he shouldn't be, and his teammate Devin Booker, everyone else is positive. Again, we know KD is a great scorer, and he's going to go down as one of the best historically ever. But it just looks odd to have these numbers and have your team not even win a back-to-back game in damn near 2 months. This year, Kevin Durant has scored over 30 points 18 times. Out of everybody that scored over 30 points 10 times, these are the 5 players with the worst record. I just made a video about LaMelo Ball. You can say whatever you want about Jimmy Butler, and I don't think Jimmy is anywhere near the talent of a Kevin Durant. But it's something about that man that simply elevates every single team he's on. Some people can consider Jimmy Butler's approach cancerous, but this man has a long track record of elevating every situation he's on. Yes, this happened.
I think that's a stretch. He elevates every situation, don't get me wrong. But to the finals like he did last year, I mean, a couple of years, that's kind of the Heat. You feel me? That's the Heat's pedigree with the addition of Jimmy Butler. Because, don't get me wrong, he got the Timberwolves to the playoffs, first time in a million years. And then he kind of almost elevated Joel Embiid into the, Eastern Conference Finals if it wasn't for that heroic Kawhi Leonard shot, that still should go down as one of the greatest buzzer beaters of all time. But outside of that, I mean, what else did he really do? The Chicago Bulls, he didn't really. He went home to LeBron most of those years. So I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think you got to give most of that credit to the Miami Heat plus Jimmy Butler. Now, Jimmy Butler is a winner. Don't get me wrong. He's a winning class player. I think you pair him with Kevin Durant, they could win. They could win a championship. You put a full team. If you took, I don't want to say this Phoenix team, though, but let's say you got rid of Bam Adebayo and the Heat and had just put Kevin Durant there because that would have made more sense. Then, yeah, I think they could have beat the Nuggets that year. They definitely could have just kept making it to the finals. Jimmy Butler has proven to be a winning class player, which is why it's insane that the Golden State Warriors was able to get him. Because you pair a winner like Jimmy with a winner like Steph Curry in a winning organization like the Golden State Warriors. Come on now, bro. It outside of the Thunder winning this, possibly 68 games, you got to pick the Warriors to get out the West, in my opinion. It's too much. It's too many people, too many veterans who know how to win. You get me? And then at the same time, the Nuggets roster has gotten worse. Roster, not Jokic. The roster. Murray has has been worse this year. Russell Westbrook, I don't trust him to do a dang thing. He scares me. He's a Tasmanian devil. That dude, one day help you win, the next day help you be down by 15 points. So, I wouldn't put my faith in them. But the Golden State Warriors, and then especially with Draymond possibly being the Defensive Player of the Year again this year, oh yeah, that's definitely a team that should get out the West if it's not the Thunder. It's either the Thunder or the Warriors. They got to get out, in my opinion. But Jimmy Butler, definitely a winner, but I wouldn't say he did all of that. You got to give a lot of that credit to just the Miami Heat organization and Pat Riley.
And the endings always seem to be somewhat sour with Jimmy. But when he got to Minnesota, they were in the midst of the longest active playoff drought with 13 years. He got him in the playoffs. The furthest, the 70s.
So you didn't even say that with confidence. He got him in the playoffs. He got him in the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. That was cute. But he had Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins on that team. That team, shit, should have won a championship. But keep it a buck with you, like I said, like, who cares about making it in the playoffs? It's about winning the championship. How many teams has Jimmy Butler got into the finals? The answer is the Miami Heat. You get me? Like, that's what really matters here. I don't give a damn about no playoff appearance.
Sixers ever went in the Joel Embiid era was the half year they had Jimmy Butler. And to me, that was the 1 year they felt semi-serious. Obviously, we know what he did with the Miami Heat, and Golden State, they're 14-1 with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy can clearly elevate mediocre to bad talent, and he's also able to fit in with adequate talent. I understand Chris Paul's body was
Hold on, brother. Although that is true, the Golden State Warriors isn't adequate talent, bro. That's Steph Curry's the best point guard in the league. You get me? Not necessarily today. That would go to Shea, but he's one of the greatest point guards of all time. You get me? And so let's pump the brakes with what you're talking about. Like, the Golden State Warriors won with Andrew Wiggins as their second best player. Do you guys understand what that means? All they did basically, outside of Jordan Poole, you know, it being a few seasons later, is they got rid of Andrew Wiggins and added Jimmy Butler. Like, that's basically what the Warriors just did. And they got rid of Clay, who was already cooked even the year that they won with Andrew Wiggins. Like, and Jimmy Butler is a million times better, more reliable, more consistent, better IQ, better hustle, all around just better player than Andrew Wiggins. And it's really not even close. No disrespect to Wiggins, because he had a hell of a season that season, but he's definitely not consistent enough. I mean, shit, him and Jimmy got into it when it was on the Timberwolves, but he's just not consistent enough to be that guy.
completely broken down in his last year with Phoenix. I get that. But even though his game wasn't quite what it was in 2019, 2020, his leadership skills are still unmatched. In these last 2 years, Kevin Durant is on pace to have his lowest winning percentile since his first 2 years in Seattle. In that extremely brief stint where they had Chris Paul, a broken down Chris Paul.
That's because Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, from my understanding, and you can let me know if I'm wrong in the comments, but from my understanding, they're the ones who told the Suns that it would be a good idea to trade for Bradley Beal. Like, Kevin Durant clearly doesn't know how to build a team. You get me? He thinks add offensive stars and all of a sudden we win. No. So if that was the case, you feel me? Getting rid of Chris Paul and the IQ that he had, even though he wasn't the same player, was just ludicrous, stupid. You get me? Especially when the person replacing him is Bradley Beal. But then again, I'm just not somebody who's ever really had faith in Bradley Beal. I've seen him with the Wizards. He wasn't a winner. Like, sure, he put up great numbers. He had a couple of, or almost won a scoring title. But Bradley Beal is just, bro, he's a mid-tier player. You feel me? He's a little guy who could score. There's plenty of those. Like, you don't need somebody like that with a no trade clause and taking up 40%, damn near 40% of the salary.
We're 8-0 with Chris Paul and Kevin Durant, and at least they won a playoff series. Kevin Durant, since leaving Golden State, he's had 5 different head coaches, and for whatever reason, nothing just works. I'm sorry, it's kind of been proven. This man has to be in a stable spot that simply allows him to hoop, because otherwise it turns up looking like this. If you guys like this video, let me know in the comment section how exactly you feel about.
That's going to do it for this video too, man. But just to follow up, I just personally think that Kevin Durant is not in the GOAT conversation because he's mismanaged his career. He should have, even though he got unfairly lambasted and basically killed and burnt at the stake because he messed with the media's precious LeBron. You get me? In his pathway, because LeBron and all, to be honest with you, most likely would have won the 2017 and 2018 championships because the Golden State Warriors would have been cooked without Kevin Durant. So, he messed with LeBron's career and they're still mad off that. But outside of that, like, Kevin Durant is just a guy who is like just like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, bro. He's a really big weapon who just needs a winning organization or a winning player around him, and he has not had that, and he has not prioritized putting that around him because I don't think he realizes what he's doing. He thinks he's putting winners around him when he does a Kyrie Irving or a James Harden. You feel me? But a lot of these players, they just don't understand it from that level. I'm not saying he doesn't know basketball, but I'm saying like when it comes to what you're seeing from a talent perspective to who's the nucleus to a winning culture, it can bring a winning culture to you. It's two different things. And not to crap on Harden because he did his thing with Houston, but he wasn't a winner when it really mattered. When it really matters, are they there? Kyrie Irving, yes, but not as the lead guy. He's there, but not as the lead guy. James Harden just ain't there. You get me? And then same thing for Devin Booker, not to crap on him, just not a leader, not a winner. He never was. Chris Paul brought the winning, which is why they made the finals that year. Before that, Devin Booker was just putting up shots. You get me? And then it's the same thing for Bradley Beal, obviously. So, I mean, with that being said, I just think that Kevin Durant, he should really consider going back to the Warriors. He needs to leave this Timberwolves decision the fuck alone. And, of course, the New York Knicks. If he really wants to win, go join the Thunder, the Denver Nuggets. You can't join the Celtics or the Lakers. So go join the Thunder, the Nuggets, or the Warriors. Truthfully. Or the Heat. The Heat will figure it out within a season or two. But that's going to do it for this video, man. I appreciate you guys watching, man. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Again, shout out to Swishout for letting me use, well, he didn't let me use this video. I just took it. But shout out to Swishout, man. Great content right here, man. And I'll catch you on the next one.